Hey people, we're having a dating series. Yep, this video you just clicked on is a dating series I committed to doing, right? I've had it on my mind for a little while. And what's most important for me in this series is to help people define a lot of things about love and relationships, but also expose the unknown or subtle things that determine the health and the future of any relationship. So, I'm going to start by defining the word dating. But even before I do so, I want to give us a tool. And the tool I use all the time is something called the principle of the first mention. And this principle states that before you use or properly utilize or even understand a word, you have to always refer to the time where it was first ever mentioned. That's the principle of the first mention. So I do definitions a lot because, in a very big capacity, it's the first mention of any word or any phenomenon we're exploring. So for dating, we're defining dating first. And if you follow through with this, you see why we need to define dating. And the definition itself will be a very pivotal tool in helping you understand, the rest of the things I'm going to be talking about. And there's a quote that I've heard a lot that when the purpose of a thing is unknown, abuse is inevitable. I feel like the idea or concept of dating has been abused in our time because maybe the purpose is unknown, right? So, dating is simply a period of time that you dedicate to the study of a person to know if they're worth sharing the rest of your life with by way of matrimony. That's simply what dating is. So, for those who don't know the definition of dating, this is what dating is about. First of all, our definition contains timing, right? Dating is simplicity, simply a period of time. Now, I've seen people in relationships for 7, 9, 10 years, and they're supposed to still be dating. And my question is, what's the period of time here? If anybody's ever going to be dating anybody, the first thing you need to sort out before even pursuing that relationship is the period of time that you've decided that you would get to know this person for before committing to them maritally. So, if you have a boyfriend that has kept you for a decade, my question to you or your boyfriend is, what was the period of time he set apart to get to know you? Or it could be the other way around. So the first thing with dating is a specified period of time. And I'm not going to give you a particular number, but 7 years is wild. And so is 5. But it has to be a period of time that you've selected, you've decided, okay, for the next 9 months, I'm going to invest my time in getting to know this person. So that's the first thing about dating, a period of time. Also, the next part of our definition talks about the study of a person, which leads me to say this. For the people who have been dating for eternity long, it takes a lifetime to really know a person. So if the reason your boyfriend tells you that he's been with you for 10 years dating you is because he believes that marriage is not something you rush into and he's trying to gather enough information, well, this is the first thing I want you to know. It takes a lifetime to really know a person. And for those who believe that, they want to, spend as much years as possible in getting to know this person before they commit to them maritally, if your idea of getting enough information about them is 10 years, if you ever come around to it that you've now decided to commit to this person maritally, I want to let you know that you've still settled. You've settled because you can't fully know a person in 10 years. You've settled because they are still alive. It takes an entire lifetime to know one person. So if they're still alive and you choose to date for 10 years just to get to know them, then you've settled if you ever decide to marry them. Because you don't have all the information as well. You can definitely summarize everything that needs to be known about that person once they die. So if you're dating them for 10 years and the only reason is because you don't want to settle, well, you better plan not to marry them because you're still going to settle. Why? Because the learning never stops. There's still going to be things you find out about that person. So I just want to clear that, right? For the people that are in the decade-long relationship, yeah, we need to start having a conversation, okay? And this is my favorite part of the definition, and it's the part where it says, by way of matrimony. It says you dedicate a certain amount of your time, right, in the study of a person so that you can know if they are worth sharing your life with by way of matrimony. Now, I've seen people or heard people say, oh, that they're not going to get married, but they've been in and out of relationships. Like they literally don't like the idea of marriage. They don't mess with marriage. I just want to let you know that the only reason dating is a conversation is because it's a select method to prove a person for matrimony, right? So the only reason we're having this dating conversation is because marriage is the goal. So if you don't mess with marriage, you shouldn't be messing with dating. And this leads me to say that if you're tying anybody down in a relationship without any plans to commit to them maritally, that's not what dating is for. So dating is not for, let's see where this goes. No, actually, dating is because you want this to go somewhere. So you're hoping you have the right information to make this important decision. So there's a question I found out online and I want to answer that. The question was, how long should I be dating somebody before marriage becomes a conversation? And my answer was, before you ever start dating them. Yeah. Remember I said, for those who try to see where this goes, that's not what dating is for, right? So marriage should be a conversation before the dating process begins. So if you have somebody who you've been dating, right, and let's say you bring up like conversations of marriage and they shut down or shut you down, then you should know that that's not why they're here. And for those of you who like, companionship, there are people who have never been out of a relationship in their lives. Like they're out of one and in the next second. What you might be craving is community, and that's what family and friends are for. And whether you like to admit it or not, there's going to be a lot of people you'll be doing life with, but not at the same capacity as a spouse. So another question I would like to address is the question of, how do I know when I'm ready to date? How do I know when to start dating? Well, the first way to know is you're ready to commit to somebody maritally. Some people might think that they are ready to be married, but no. Most people are ready to get married and not be married. Getting married is more of introduction into marriage, into the idea of a union. That's the wedding process, the celebration, the gowns, the suits. That's getting married. The blessing, the pastor, or the devil, whoever joins you in the person, that's getting married. Being married is more a function of who you've become, right? The quality of person you are as it pertains to maintaining a healthy marital union. Most people don't have that. They don't understand that getting married and being married are two separate, realities. So now let's talk about the kind of person you should be dating. You might not enjoy this one, but the kind of person you should be dating is a person like you. Yeah. Now, I want you to take a look at your life, and if you were a person of the opposite gender, would you date you? Now, I want you to picture a partner that is entitled, lacks accountability, right? A partner that is not ambitious, like literally nothing is important. They go late to everywhere, like you. Imagine a partner who holds you up to a standard that they don't intend to meet, like you hold those guys, right? I want you to imagine a person like you. Yes, would you date them? Okay, thank you for your honest answer. So the kind of person you should date is a person like you. Date a person you deserve. You should only date a person you deserve, not a person that does not deserve you. The person you deserve is somebody like you. A person that does not deserve you is either a person who has put in a level of work that you're not willing to put in, or a person who's not willing to put in the level of work you've put in. Because I've seen people get into relationships and the excuse is constantly, oh yeah, they're working on it, they're getting better. No, that's not the point. People have patterns. If the guy has forever in his life worked on it, like they're never not working on it, you've never really seen the result, then they don't deserve you. If the lady is always, listen, you know what, ladies, I'll just get in here. Ladies be like, that's who I am, take me for who I am. Nah, baby. You will take you for who you are. I ain't taking that. Okay? I have the chance to be trashy. I have the chance to be not useful to myself. I have the chance to lack ambition. I have the chance to disrespect people's times, and I don't do it. So I'm not going to take you for who you are because I have the chance to be all of those trashy things, and I opt for better. So you either step up or you get left. Is this left? Yes, left. Which leads me to say, if the picture of the person like you have, is not somebody worth dating, then it should tell you that you're not worth dating. Except by that exact picture. It tells you that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. It tells you that dating is not your problem. Don't ever hold a person to a standard you cannot meet. If you're a person that lacks accountability, if you're a person that is awfully entitled, if you're a person that has no value for people's time, I don't know if you've ever heard the words, oh, anything can happen. There are people who use that a lot, but really what they're saying is, I don't want to be responsible for the outcome of anything. So anything has to happen. If you're that kind of person, you don't need to be dating just yet. Dating is not your problem. Increasing the quality of your life should be your focus, right, at this point in time. But the reason I brought that up is to help you have a thought-provoking moment, because a lot of the things I see on social media are cases where people listen to things and they agree, right? They clap about it. They go, oh yes, somebody's finally speaking up. No, sometimes the only thing you heard are the things that agree with your emotional wreckage. They agree with the version of you that isn't good enough for where you're headed. So the fact that you clapped to it, the fact that you reposted it, the fact that you supported it does not mean it's any valuable. Now listen to this. Although I said the type of person you should be dating is somebody like you, one thing I ought to have said earlier that I did not say as well is that you don't even have the capacity to attract somebody that isn't like you. You don't have it in you to attract somebody that isn't like you. Now, there's something I teach in my mindset course. It's called the force field of the mind, right? So the mind is only able to attract external things that resonate with the things that are inside of it. It's the same thing for dating and several other, things you get involved in. It just so happens that the magnet, no matter how powerful it is, cannot magnetize plastic. No matter how powerful it is, cannot magnetize water. But if you throw a magnet into a deep bowl of water, it's going to go in that deep bowl of water and only source out metals, right? So you can live in a world that is filled with amazing people, like a very vast world of amazing people. You see them every day, you interact with them every day, but for some reason, when it comes to your dating relationship, it turns out that you just somehow end up picking the trashy guys. Listen, it's not a mistake that you picked them. It's the only thing that could have come out of that situation. Just like the magnet in the bowl of water, is going to go find a metal. It's the same way in an amazing world. You're still going to go out there and attract something that is in you. Whatever person it is, your ex or whoever it is that you hate so much because of the kind of person they are, right? Whatever the situation was with them, I just want to let you know that if you ever attracted them, right, that thing you hate so much in them, or that person you hate so much, you're usually either an upcoming version of that person or that trait, or you're a version of that person in denial. It's one of the two things, because the law of attraction tells us you can only attract things to the capacity that you are or you possess. So I know you hate them so much, and I know I can agree. I heard them, I saw them. They're trashy, like really trashy. But I want you to look at yourself and consider these two things, which one of them has to be true. You're either that person in seed form, or you're the version of that person but in denial. In some cases, I say, if it's a masculine situation, I tell the ladies, you're the feminine version of this man. Now, let me break this down, because some people might be like, give me an example. I'll give you an example. So, say you got with a guy and you eventually discover that he is very evasive, like nothing is important, like that important for him to, shut everything out, to face it head on. He's so evasive. You're trying to have conversations, he's deflecting. He doesn't spearhead, important conversations or important decisions. It always has to be you who initiates, and after you initiate, he vanishes. Say that's the thing you hate in a person. Well, I want to show you that you're a certain level of evasive as well. Now, this is a perfect example. You meet a person and you get attracted to them. What you do not notice is that the basis for your attraction is either that, this evasive person let something about you go that other people would have shone the torch on, that other people would have flashed their lights on. He let it go. And you're like, ooh, okay, he's my person. What you just did not know is that because in that capacity, he let it go, you would not see that he has a track record of letting important things go. So in the moment you clicked with this person, it seemed like you were benefiting, but in reality, it's just who he is, and that clicked with who you are. So now, when you get into your dating phase with this person, you start seeing signs like, how is he so evasive? No, baby, the reason you're in here at all is his evasiveness. He evaded something that was confrontable because he just hates confrontation. He just hates being called out on something in him that isn't good enough. So he simply accepted the thing in you that is obviously not good enough, but you felt loved. To you, what you drew out of that scenario is, oh, this guy must love me more than the other guys. No, he doesn't love you more than the other guys. He just is an evasive person. He just is not so responsible. He just does not like the idea of confrontation. So he accepts the version of you that isn't the best. And what you don't understand that you're getting is that you're getting a total package of, a person who's just evasive. So he's going to evade multiple other things. And you're going to be wondering, why he's not tackling the situation? Baby, he could have tackled you first and he didn't. That's signing off, right? So that's a practical example for that. Basically, you're that version of him in denial, because how you got in this relationship is that you interpreted somebody's evasiveness as love. I dare say unconditional love, because in that moment it catered to you. So you were like, damn, he must love me. No, baby, he don't love you. He's just you in a masculine form. So it's going to play out, in the future of that relationship. There are people who clicked because of their sense of humor, right? And let's say somebody grew a little bit more and wants to now have serious conversations, and this guy is throwing jokes everywhere. It's like, why are you so silly? Why don't you take anything seriously? This thing is so important to me, and you're not jumping on it like I want you to. And really, you're just being unreasonable, because that's how y'all got together. So as far as they're concerned, that's my joke pal. It's all jokes and fun. It's never gonna be serious, right? So a lot of things are masked under jokes. A lot of things are subtly communicated under jokes. You become a coward couple. And here's the thing, guys, couples like this, when they have their first ever serious or important conversation, they tend to fall out. This one tends to smash the toe of the other person, because the jokes were not really who they were. It was just a defense mechanism. So they look at somebody else that shares the same defense mechanism and they think, oh, They don't say this, but we're scared of the same thing. We've been hurt in the same ways. So that's my person. What you do not know is that it's your hurt that brought you together. It's a facade of who you are that brought you together. Now, when you eventually decide that, okay, I think it's time to take off this, mask, it turns out that, oh, they're not ready for that. And usually the reason it seems like these kinds of people tend to fall out is because one person just decided, I'm done. I'm done being scared. I'm done not having the important conversations. I'm done shoving everything under the bed. I'm making a joke about it in hopes that this person will pick the signal. I am done, done, done. So they tend to fall out. Now, let me give you another example of not being able to attract what you're not. So, two individuals meet each other, think they like each other, right? And they end up in bed. Fast forward, they eventually commit maritally, and one person goes off cheating, and they come to me and it's like, oh, you see this person, they're cheating on me. What did I do? Am I not good enough? This and this. And usually, my first question is, before y'all got married, did anybody sleep with the other? Like, damn. Yeah. For the whole 7 years, we're, yeah, back to back. I'm like, that's why. That's why they're cheating on you. And they're like, what? No, whoever would cheat, we cheat. I'm like, do you want to hear from me, or do you want to tell me why you're confused? Because apparently you are, and that's why you're coming to me, right? So basically, you meet a person, you're not committed to them, you end up in bed with them. And when I say committed to them, I mean maritally. Listen, I don't care what you believe or what you think. There are things that are exclusive to a marital union. And if you crave those things, you at least should have the decency to go the mile to obtain those entitlements. You end up in bed with them. Now you call them cheating right now, right? That's what you're calling them. They're a cheater. But do you know who the first cheater is? It's you. Guess who you cheated on? You cheated on yourself with somebody else. You owed it to yourself to not disrespect yourself to anyone or for anyone, but you got an opportunity to disrespect yourself and you jumped on it. Now you're married to this person and they jump on the opportunity to disrespect you. You see that? It's just what's going around coming around. So I'm sorry guys. I have to say, you attracted a cheater because you're a cheater. You might not have cheated on a boyfriend, but you cheated on yourself. You bailed on yourself the moment you were required to stand for your self-worth. That's cheating. And that boy knew it. Well, at least not like I know, but it's a reality. So he jumps on another opportunity to disrespect you because you led with that. You gave him the opportunity to disrespect you. He didn't work for this. He didn't see it as valuable. Actually, you might have passed it around to his boys too, and he's like, oh yeah, it's my turn. So I'm literally saying, again, you do not have it in you, to attract something that you're not. And for the cheating situation, I've seen people or heard people, go crazy about cheating on a boyfriend, whereas every single day they jump on an opportunity to cheat on themselves, to let themselves down, to offer themselves to somebody totally undeserving for free. I want to say this to everybody. God gave you yourself to first have a relationship with. If that relationship is not right, every other one that comes after is going to be raggedy. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be, one failed situation after another. I'm just going to talk about a couple I know. So this couple, the man is like a man's man. He's like very macho, very strong, like a strong man, right? This is somebody who can crumble anybody. He doesn't have to be violent. Like his presence, he knows how to crush a person effortlessly. Like he's that guy, right? Extremely masculine. He looks the part, talks the part, is the part, right? Then he gets married to this lady. And guess what, guys? This lady gets married to him as a virgin. And one of the things that I hear them say to this day is, oh, I married her as a virgin. But the other things they did not say to me that I had to notice and study by myself is, although I am such a strong man, I dare not break this lady. she presented something to me that a lot of people didn't have. Now, if you think this conversation is about virginity, I lost you a long time ago. This conversation is about a sense of self-worth, right? This lady didn't come with broken pieces begging to be taken in. No. She came whole, she came confident. And a man that is tough, high, and mighty got with the program. He understood that, oh, I know I could disrespect every other person but this girl. Why? She didn't disrespect herself. Which leads me to my next point. How a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? How the person you're dating treats you or would treat you is how you show them to. Now, not only by the things you tolerate, but by the things you embody. However you lead is how they'll follow, right? So never in this lifetime or another, if there is, right? Never ever lead with something you don't want your partner to continue. Literally, right? Dating is a study of a person. So it's what you're showing them that they're gonna be taking. They can't take what you don't show because they wouldn't know how to use it. So they use the tools you give them on you. So my question is, what would you want to give the other person? And please don't present a facade, right? Because the day you take off that image, you're going to suffer. So my most important thing is fix the relationship with yourself so you can have a better relationship with your life partner, right? Because the truth is your experience in your dating relationship is directly proportional to the quality of person that you are. I need somebody to write that down in your journal. Your experience in your dating relationship is directly proportional to the quality of person that you are. Right? So in this dating series, I'm going to be talking extensively on, different dating situations, and I would cross into marriage here and there because let's just say dating is a little bit of a playing field, right, for what a marital connection will be like. And to give you a little, would I say, tip or just an expo, one question that has been, widely asked a lot of times is, how do I test my compatibility with whoever I'm dating, like sexual compatibility? How do I test that? Well, I will be answering that as well. I will talk extensively on what vulnerability really is and how to fuse that into your relationship to determine its success. I'll also talk about conflict resolution in the subsequent episodes. I'll talk about communication techniques, and I'll also talk about one of my most important things to teach couples that are getting married. I call it contracting for success. I'll teach you literally how to draw up a contract. What else am I going to be touching on? I also would talk about, I don't want to call it gender roles, but yeah, the wiring of men and how it's different from the wiring of women, and just call some, bluffs here and there, because there's a lot of lies that has been passed around about, oh, this is something that, it's a lady's thing. I mean, for example, one of them is, you can ask a lady a question and expect her to answer once. What? What are you, deaf? What are you, unintentional? Yeah, maybe that. So I'm going to be addressing a lot of that. Or the one that says men are so visually stimulated, it's just easier for men to cheat because of, what they see. Cap and crap, right? So we're going to be touching on all of those things. I cannot wait, literally, right? But yeah, listen, this is a series you want to follow, okay? I also want you to leave your feedback in the comments, anywhere, whatever, right? Or send me your lessons, right? And your progress proposition to my DMs, wherever you want. Just have fun with it, right? Let me know what you've learned and what you'll be doing different as a result of that. And maybe things that you didn't know were a problem that now you realize how it was a problem and how it, caused your relationship to fail. But until the next episode, I love y'all. I really want to see y'all win in relationships. I'm committed to it, right? I'm committed to it. So yes, you want to follow the series and you want to, commit to making changes where it's necessary, But until the next episode, I'm Eugenada, and I'd love to see you winning your relationships. Let's do this in episode 2. Bye.